Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Of course, if you need a roof, give us a shout 364 1007. 364 1007. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. Okay, hope y'all had an awesome week. Disappointing for the baseball Tigers. If you missed Sunday's show, I did give you my full LSU football scrimmage recap. So make sure you check that out from yesterday's episodes, Sunday's episode if you missed it. Gigantic news in the world of college basketball starting to break late Sunday night. John Calipari leaving Kentucky for Arkansas. Our buddy Wes Moore was the first to report it. All the big national outlets have it now. So hat tip to Wes, local journalist, doing what local journalists should do, and that is, cover the teams that they cover. So Cal's finalizing a deal, said to be a 5-year deal, incentive laden, which would take him away from Kentucky, move him to Arkansas. He was making 8.5 at Kentucky. This is said to be less, but incentive laden that would allow him to pass that number. Apparently, Calipari has a long-time relationship with one of the the Tyson Chicken people. John Tyson, who's a billionaire, who's a longtime supporter of Arkansas athletics. And I have a couple of things on this. So I would compare this hire to LSU hiring Brian Kelly. John Calipari is a national championship winning coach who's been to how many? Wait, hang on. He took Kentucky to 4 Final Fours. He was at a Final Four at UMass, took Memphis there as well. I think 6 Final Fours in all, if I'm not mistaken. 4 Final Fours in Kentucky. 4 Final Fours in Kentucky, 1 at UMass, 1 at Memphis. So 6 Final Fours. He's won a national title, brought Memphis to the national title game where they lost to Kansas on Mario Chalmers' shot. My point is, John Calipari is immediately the best hire in Arkansas history. I'm not saying he will go on to have the most success. It's just to say that Arkansas in any sport has never hired a coach with this level of success. Dave Van Horn, when they hired him, had been to Omaha with University of Nebraska. He had taken Nebraska to the College World Series, but Calipari's won a national title. It's not to say there aren't coaches that have gone on to have better careers. I mean, Nolan Richardson obviously won a national title at Arkansas. But at the time that they are hiring him, it's not even close. This is the most successful coach Arkansas has ever hired. And it's certainly a coup to hire him away from Kentucky. But I also think, similarly to the Kelly Notre Dame thing, there had to be a desire on both parts for a separation. Like maybe it had just run its course after 15 years with Calipari in Kentucky. After the first round loss to Oakland this year, there was talk that Kentucky may fire John Calipari. Well, they retained him, but it certainly seems like they were looking for an exit strategy. But for a gigantic, multi-million-dollar buyout, was it $30 million, $33 million or something like that was the buyout. But he probably would have been fired after this year. So for John Calipari, he gets to go to a place that is pursuing him instead of a place that is staying in a place that is criticizing. So I understand it to that extent. And sometimes after 15 years, you just need a fresh start. Both sides need a fresh start. So that's very likely where they are with that. The thing about it, though, for me is with Arkansas, I don't understand how Arkansas isn't better at everything. I mean, you have to have money to be able to compete, right? And Arkansas has a billionaire benefactor, John Tyson with Tyson Chicken. They got Walmart money up there in Northwest Arkansas. Uh, Jerry Jones, the billionaire who played football at Arkansas. Uh, I know FedEx is in Memphis, but the FedEx people are Arkansas people. I mean, point is, like they have these deep, deep pocketed boosters and donors um, that, like, if you want to go hire John Calipari, you can. Like, you want to build the best facilities in the world, you can. It's always perplexed me. Now, I mean, the one disadvantage they have in Arkansas is that Arkansas is not a talent-rich state. So, similar to places like Tennessee and Nebraska, who have had historic success, in football per se, um, they the big part of the reason that they fell in hard times is as the world got smaller, right? And everybody was on TV, and it no longer mattered that you were Nebraska with the little red N on your helmet because everybody's on TV, and like you had to recruit your home base more, and those schools don't have a great recruiting base. Same with Arkansas. Like there just isn't a lot of talent in the state of Arkansas, which is their detriment. But similar to LSU, they're the only Power Five. The difference is LSU is in a talent-rich state. Arkansas is not. And it goes to show you, I guess you could look and say, well, what matters more, talent or money? Well, Louisiana has talent, doesn't have the resources financially that Arkansas does, but look at the success. So anyway, Cal leaving Kentucky for Arkansas. I'll be curious to see what direction Kentucky goes next. And I'm curious, what's the bigger side of this? What's the more interesting side of it? Is it Arkansas hiring John Calipari, or is it John Calipari leaving Kentucky and now one of the top four jobs? And I mean, Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke, Kansas, the four best jobs in college basketball. One of them's open. So who gets it? All right. We'll say some good mornings here. We can also talk about Iowa. It's funny. This is the other thing. South Carolina beat Iowa for the national title. What's the more interesting story? South Carolina going undefeated and win their second title in 3 years, or Caitlin Clark and Iowa losing for the second consecutive year in the title game? All right. Let's say some good mornings here. If you're on YouTube, smash that like button, subscribe up to the channel, Facebook, like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being here. Hey, Kelly Gross. Good morning. Von Bluesman. Craig Duga. Arkansas isn't screwing around. I mean, but what are you getting, right? What are you getting in John Calipari? I think that's a fair question. I mean, you're getting a guy that is, uh, you know, who's 65 years old. Cal is 65 years old. How much longer is he going to coach? How motivated is he? Does a new job sort of reignite the flame? Maybe. But what version of John Calipari are you getting? James McKinney, Wendell Norman, Larry Garner, Jason Horn. Morning, Matt. Did you get those pictures I took at the Yankee game? Kicks of the day, Team Drew. Jason, I need to go check again. Did you text me? I definitely saw pictures from the Yankee game yesterday. I guess I didn't realize it was you, and I didn't realize that those were pictures from the game. Anyway, I will go back and check again. And very cool if you were in New York watching them play. By the way, Yankees are off to a hot start. Not that any of you care, but I do. Gary Petrie, morning, Uncle Scone. How close is the finger to hitting the panic button for our baseball team? Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know that I say the word panic. I would say urgency. I mean, that's I think the bigger maybe it's just semantics, but like panicking doesn't serve anybody. But this team has to have urgency. You're 3-9, through 4 weekends in the league. Um, the thing that we continue to say was if you can get to 5-10, 6-9 at the halfway point, you can turn it around because the second half of conference play is much more manageable. Well, to get to 5-10, you need to go win this weekend at Tennessee, which good luck, right? We'll see. Dale Broussard, Calipari, 2 Arkansas is interesting. Brett Gidry, didn't have Calipari leaving Kentucky on my 2024 bingo card. Tiger Diver, morning Scone, DFW ready. From DFW, ready for solar eclipse. Isn't the solar eclipse isn't Dallas like the epicenter? Like it's going to be, you're going to really be able to see it there. Bubba Smith, Jeremy Nuslot, good morning. Matt Plavidal, morning, Matt. You're going to love this. Was scheduled today. Got a text 45 minutes ago saying take the day off. 2 minutes ago, said someone called and come in. Go make that money, bro. Go get it, dog. Go get that money. Brian Wynn, Jesse Brown, Brian Broom, what up? Rather see Cal go to Arkansas than Will Wade. That's a good point. And for whatever it's worth, I don't know that Wade was a real candidate at Arkansas. The ones that were reported were Chris Beard from Ole Miss and the Kansas State coach, who, forgive me, I forgot his name. Jerome Tang. Let's see. Taylor Hudson, morning, Matt. Yesterday, you said we lost the last 2 series last year. We won against Georgia in the last series before SEC tournament. Mississippi State and Auburn were third and second to last series last year. Okay, good correction. Thank you. Craig Duga will wait to Kentucky. I don't think so, Craig. Bubba Tatum, you have the matching bumper sticker for that. So this is the 30A shirt I got last year as a joke for Terrio. Because it was 30A letters all the time. So in the mornings when I go work out in the morning and I'm still sweating getting out of the shower, but when I come here to do this, I turn my fan on in here high and I just put a t-shirt on so I don't sweat through my the dress shirt that I put on for the day. So I just grabbed the top shirt, and this just happened to be the top shirt today. And I did buy the bumper sticker. However, I gifted that to Terrio. I think I gave him this as well, but he didn't want it. So I was like, if you're not going to take it out, then give it back. Like, if you're just going to throw it away, then give it back. It's like a $30 t-shirt. I was like, don't throw that away. Reed Rule, morning Scone. Would Kentucky go after Nate Oates, or will they go after a bigger fish? Also, do you know what's going on with Shelton Sampson? Thought it'd be a little higher up the depth chart. Well, would they go after Nate Oates? Kentucky would go after anybody. Like, Kentucky looks at themselves as the preeminent job in college basketball, and they're not wrong. I mean, it's from resources, fan interest, expectations, all of it. There's what I said: Kentucky, Kansas, North Carolina, Duke. Those 4, are interchangeable. The best jobs in college basketball. So, in the same way that they went after John Calipari and got him from Memphis, 15 years ago, they're going to go after the biggest names that you can imagine right now. So who is that? I don't know, but they're going to aim as high as you can possibly aim. And then the Shelton Sampson thing, I think a big part of that is he is similar to where Chris Hilton was, Brian Thomas was. He's just a talented young guy who's buried on a really deep depth chart at that position. With Kyron Lacey and Chris Hilton returning. And then, of course, they went and added the 2 transfers with CJ Daniels and number 11 from Mississippi State, Xavier Thomas. He's just, Aaron Anderson is back as well. So, it's not that Shelton isn't good or isn't doing well. He's just got a bunch of talented veteran guys ahead of him. Henry Heisenberg. Morning, Matt. I think an underrated need for the Saints is defensive tackle. I thought Shepard disappointed last year. Brzee struggled in the run game. Let's see if he can improve. I thought Brzee had a really good rookie year. And I do think defensive tackle would certainly be a need because you got Saunders, Shepard, Brzee, and you lost Malcolm Roach. So I agree with you that defensive tackle is a need for this team. Brett, last episode of Curb was fantastic. Wait, was yesterday the season finale? Don't tell me anything. I'm the last episode that I saw was Tossing the Key, the Conan episode. So I think I'm 2 behind. So if they already had the series finale, please no spoilers. I haven't seen it. Tim Gotro, Brett DeGrove, morning Matt. Sure feels like when the smoke clears with coaches Will Wade could end up at Ole Miss or Alabama. I guess if Nate Oates leaves Bama for Kentucky, that's a possibility, sure. Brent St. Germain, good morning. Maddie White, what up, dude? See, Matt just asked thoughts on the Curb finale. Didn't see it. So I've got 2 episodes to go. I've got last week's and then last night's. So please no spoilers. By the way, Matt Weitzel is my old college roommate from Holy Cross in South Bend, Indiana. Was in New Orleans a couple weeks ago, popped down, had dinner with his wife, and their son. Had a great time. We talked a lot about Curb. It was fantastic. Kids loved it. So, but please no spoilers on Curb. YouTube, please smash that like button, subscribe up to the channel. Hang on one second. Gotta stop Drew's backpack. I'll be right back. Okay. My apologies. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Let's see. Cootie James Robinson, bad move for Calipari. To build a brand at 60 is hard. His name alone will attract top tier players, but does he have time? Yeah, again, not 60, 65. So 5-year deal takes nearly 70. But then again, I mean, if you were going to be one more year at Kentucky, and if you don't prefer, I mean, think of it this way. By the way, good morning, Christian. Will Wade, candidate, Kentucky. Doubt that. I doubt that jump. But think of it this way for Cal. Whatever you do at like your Kentucky team every year just had massive turnover, right? And he was going to have it again. So he's going to have to go rebuild his entire roster again through McDonald's All-Americans and the transfer portal again. So if he knew he had like a great roster coming back to Kentucky, that'd be one thing, but you're going to lose all your players again. So I kind of get it, you know. Jim Arsenault, good morning. Hope you're having a good one. Love the main man, Drew. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it, man. Matt, now just got called to go to Mandeville. Feel like Simpson at the bar. Go get it, bro. Go get it. Timothy Fontenot, what up? Rocky Killian, what up? Why? Let's see. The only major university that would hire will wait anytime soon is LSU. Oh, that's factually inaccurate. I mean, that's a really bad take. Will Wade's not coming back to LSU. I mean, Matt McMahon, they gave him a 7-year contract. He's not going anywhere. And the thing for which Wade got ostracized is now legal. He's proven he can recruit and win. That's a really bad take, man. Jeff McKithen, what's good? Lou, Wade's going to major school in 1 year. I'll be curious to see if Wade does another year at McNeese. Another solid year at McNeese only brightens his star more. Better opportunity. You know, do you take an opportunity just because it's the next one, or do you wait for the right one, sort of thing? We'll have an interesting decision to make there. Hey, Deborah Coward, good morning. Lowell Cormier, Guy Brooks, good morning. Jordan Frizzell, we were just majorly wrong about pitching in the preseason, or can they still be what was expected? Oh, were we? So Jordan, like, the production obviously hasn't been what all of us thought, but the talent is undeniable. I mean, there's a reason that Hurd, Holman, Jump are all top 50 prospects in this year's draft. We saw Gavin Guidry be nails last year. We saw Nate Ackenhausen do it in Omaha. You know what I mean? Like, Cam Johnson's the highest rated recruit ever show up on campus. Like, the talent is there. Like, that's not even debatable. It's they just have not produced for whatever reason. How much of it falls in Nate Yeski? How much of it is? I don't know. Those are answers I don't know. But can they turn it around? Sure. They got the talent to do it. Got to go perform up to your talent. Ethan Davidson. I'm not predicting they will, by the way. Good morning, Matt. We hear this all the time. This talented LSU baseball team. I don't doubt the talent is there. When is the talent going to produce? Show that it's there. It goes to show you, man. So much of it is development, and then what's between your ears, right? You know, I said on Friday, and this might surprise some people, I think this LSU, like, if we fast forward 10 years, when we look back, I think this team will have more big leaguers than last year's team. You can laugh at that because you got the two guys at the top that are undeniable, like Skeens and Cruz are big leaguers. But after that, I don't know how many guys on that team are going to be big leaguers. Like, key guys already, like Beloso is shut down his career. I don't know that Gavin Dugas is a big leaguer. You know, wish him well. Obviously, I do. I want him to do great. I really wonder about Trey Morgan because he doesn't have the power tool. He can certainly hit for average, you know, plus glove. But like we've talked about, like, he's not going to play first base at the next level. He's going to be an outfielder. So can he be a plus glove in the outfield? Don't know. And as a left-hander, the only spot he can play on the infield is first base. So I think Jordan Thompson has a real shot. Joe Bear, maybe because he's got the power bat. But you just look at this roster top to bottom, and it's a more decorated, more talented roster top to bottom. That team just had great veteran leadership. You had a generational talent Skeens at the front. You had Cruz, who hit 500, the best position player in the history of the program, you know. And then a lot of guys who played a ton of baseball, you know. You look at this year, and Jordan Thompson started every game at shortstop under Jay Johnson. You make that transition to Braswell, who struggled defensively. Trey Morgan to Jared Jones. Jones obviously has great power. His ability to hit for average isn't there, which is what Trey Morgan was exceptional at. That's the difference. You had these table setters in the lineup that allowed you to bring your run producers up with guys on base, which is why that. Anyway, yes, I think this is a very talented baseball team. They, I think, lack leadership, and they lack a real strong desire to win. And I think that's what's holding them back. Like when Vandy took the lead on them in the eighth, top of the eighth the other night, Friday on the 2-run homer, they looked shell-shocked. They didn't know how to bounce back from that. Same thing with Florida in game 2. Whenever Florida came back and tied it, when it looked like they were cruising to a win, like when they face adversity, they're just not good. Let's see. Wonder, Matt, how far up the depth chart is Aaron Anderson? Yeah, so the ones when they went team period on Saturday, he was with the ones. Yeah. Kyron Lacey, Chris Hilton, Aaron Anderson. Let's see, a couple more here. Jason Walker, good morning. Christian, you gave a great breakdown of practice. If you had to sum up your biggest takeaway from weekend in one sentence, what would it be? LSU's offensive line is dominant. Kyron Lacey is ready to break out. The twos and the threes on the defensive line were better than the twos and the threes on the offensive line, which gives me hope that the defensive line in time is going to be really good. That's kind of 3 takeaways, but there you go. All right. Hey, Rick, good morning. Went to the LSU game Saturday, man. Antron, good morning. Brian Wynn, who do you like in tonight's game? Hard to go against UConn. I mean, I get Zach Edey is a different kind of challenge for everybody, but UConn has an answer for everybody. It's hard to go against UConn. Bailey C. Derek Carr is upset being a 75 overall in Madden. He's about right. Hey, Dad. Good morning. Laurel says good morning. Hey, Laurel. Good morning. That's my niece. Parents are up in Kansas visiting my sister, her family. Laurel, hope you have a great day at school. Michael Cook, good morning. Trivia Carter, wood up. Von Bluesman, shout out to Ingrid Limbaugh, finishing third at Augusta National Women's Amateur. Very cool. LSU golfer there. All right, y'all. My apologies. I got to get going. I know there's some of y'all I missed. But I got to get Drew up, get him out to school. Brett DeGrow, real quick. As far as pitching, I think Hurd needs to move back to game 3 starter. Hook has to be ready after a second trip through the lineup. His problem has been getting through the first inning. But, yeah, I'm not opposed to Hurd moving back into the rotation. Harry, has there been a situation for number 1 pick than Caleb has right now? Bears roster is talented. They could be serious contenders in a weak NFC. Yeah, I would point to Indianapolis when Andrew Luck went number 1 overall. I mean, Peyton Manning had that team as a perennial playoff contender. Manning gets hurt. It was Jim Sorgi took over. I don't even remember who. And then they stunk for a year, got the first pick, and Andrew Luck stepped into a really good situation. All right. Julio Mendez, good morning. Want to see McNeese get better with Wade. I don't know if they'll have him for another year. Maybe one more year. I think max one more year. Steve Menard, good morning. Earl, how many wins to make the SEC tournament in baseball? Well, the bottom 2 are out. So right now, I mean, look, Missouri's going to be one of those. And I think if you get to a point where you get to 14 wins, you can get there. But long way to go, man. Brennan, what's going on? Good morning from Orange Beach. Brett, UConn 75-61. What's the line on that game? Oh, I left my phone. Hang on. Remember, by the way, national championship game tonight's on TBS. UConn 7.5-point favorite. Sounds about right. All right, y'all. I got to go. Y'all have a great day. I'll get you LSU Daily recorded in a bit and AFR3. We'll see you. Peace.